Hi everybody, it's Shayna with Dancing Daisy Designs, and today I'm going to be showing you how to use DIY Paint by Debbie's Design Diary. I'm going to be painting this cute little vintage coffee table today, and DIY Paint is so awesome that you don't have to do any prep. However, this table has quite a bit of water damage on it, as you can see here, and it's not really smooth to the touch, and for that reason I'm going to give it a light sanding before I paint it. Okay, my piece is all ready to be painted. I'm going to be using this beautiful color called Apothecary, and that's what that looks like. It's a beautiful like blue-green light color, and that's what I'm going to be using to paint the piece. But before we get started painting, there's a couple things to take into consideration. This piece has some raw wood showing through in a couple of spots, and because of that, it's more likely that we'll get something called bleed through. Bleed through is when the tannins in the woods kind of come up through your paint and leave a nasty looking stain. For example, if you paint something white and you get a yellow stain on it, you paint over it again and it still comes through, that is bleed through. And also, people use on this older furniture like a lot of oil to polish it up over the years, and sometimes that can come through. And so it's a really good reason to think about that before you paint your piece. You can do a couple of different things to block that. One is called Salvation Solution by DIY Paint. This is a stain blocker and a base coat, and it comes in clear and white, and it works amazing every time. You could use a spray shellac, and you could just spray over the spots with the raw wood in order to block that, and then hope you don't get bleed through on any other part of the furniture. I'm going to be using Dark and Decrepit Liquid Patina. This is a dark brown stain type of product, and it also has a sealer in it, so it's going to block that. And because this piece is kind of that yellowy orangey color, I don't like that, and I am going to be wet distressing it back, so I'm going to see the undercolor through the paint that I put on it. So I want to see this color and not this color, so I'm going to use this to block any of the bleed through that might come through, as well as change the color of the wood in order to make it what I want it to look like. DIY paint, as it's referred to, is a very high quality paint. It is very thick because it is a clay-based paint, so it's very versatile. You can apply it very thickly and create texture, or you can use a little bit of water and lighten it up a little bit. You can even water it way down and create a wash with it because it is so highly pigmented. Alright, this is what it looks like with the one coat of the Dark and Decrepit on it. It's a little bit darker. I'm happy with this color for my undercolor. Ready to start painting. I've got my Apothecary and my brush, and I'm just gonna jump right in. This paint covers very well, as you can see. Covering this brown really easy and quick. One thing I wanted to mention is that I'm actually in my dining room doing this project. This is a water-based paint, and it has no VOCs, which is amazing, so you can use it in your house around your pets and your children. And because it's water-based, it's really easy to clean up. So if you accidentally get some on your floor or you splatter it on something, it's no big deal because you could just clean it up with water. So once you get an area like this done, what you want to do is you want to just kind of smooth over it so that you minimize your brush strokes. And if you start to get some drag, let me zoom in so you can see right here. If you start to get some drag, or that you see like this right here, that's when you want to use a little bit of water, and that's going to take care of that. So I'm just going to use my mist sprayer and just spray the area and then just kind of smooth it out. The first coat has been applied and it looks real good. It does need a second coat. As you can see, there are some areas where it's not completely covered. So I am going to come back tomorrow and do a second coat after I let it dry overnight. When applying the second coat, you want to take care not to overwork the paint. If you overwork the paint, it's going to pull back the first layer of paint and re-expose the wood, and you don't want that to happen. This is a water-based paint, and so it can do that. One way to avoid that is to make sure that you have plenty of paint on your brush, because you don't want your brush to get dry and drag. Another way to help with that is you can apply a mist of water, and that will keep your brush from dragging too. Don't put too much water on though, or else you'll get the opposite effect and it'll pull the paint up. Let your brush do the work. Don't push down too hard. This paint is great for so many different things. You can use it for painting furniture. I've seen people paint their front door with it. I've seen people use it for painting art on canvas. It's just a very versatile, great paint. And this is what it looks like with the second coat. As you can see, we got complete coverage. It looks very nice. There are a couple of spots here in the front where I missed. I didn't go over it very well, but I'm not worried about that because I'm going to distress it. To wet distress, you just simply take a damp cloth or rag and just wipe back the paint in the areas where you want to reveal the wood underneath. Be careful though, don't press too hard or else you might remove too much paint. But if you do, don't worry because you can just go back and repaint that area. Wet distressing really does give a nice effect. I really love how this looks. All right, I gave it a light sanding and distressing, and now we're ready for the top coat, and we're going to be using Big Top by DIY Paint. This is a satin finish top coat. It is a water-based sealer, and it has no VOCs, so you can use it indoors around your pets and your children. It's a very high quality sealer. All you need to do is give it a quick stir, and then you want to use a soft bristle brush to apply it. You want to do thin, even coats. 2 coats is recommended. For the top of the table, I would put 3 coats on for extra protection. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please make sure to hit the like and subscribe button down below. And if you want to find any of the paint and products that I used in this video, please check out my website at dancingdaisydesigns.com. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.